Now, the American Secretary of State Marco Rubio has wrapped up a significant visit to the Vatican where he met with Pope Leo XIV. And this encounter comes at a time when relations between the Trump administration and the Holy See have shown some clear strains. And it seems as if Rubio is trying to bridge that gap and to try and restore some dialogue. Rubio, who's a practicing Catholic, arrived under tight security. He spent nearly about 2.5 hours in a private audience with the Pope, departing in a convoy shortly after the meeting that marked the first direct contact between Pope Leo XIV and any Trump's cabinet official in nearly about a year. It fell on the one-year anniversary of Pope Leo's papacy, adding a layer of symbolism to the timing. A video released by the Vatican showed Rubio presenting the Pope with a small crystal football. In return, the Pope gifted Rubio a pen made from olive wood, describing it as coming from a plant of peace. Rubio also met with Cardinal Pietro Parolin, the Vatican Secretary of State. The U.S. State Department said that talks with Pope Leo XIV, the Vatican's top diplomat, focused on peace efforts in West Asia. And the discussion also included Cuba and religious freedoms. But amid signs that Rubio was looking to smooth out relations with the Vatican, the U.S. Secretary of State has sought to play down differences ahead of the visit. Speaking to reporters, Rubio said that the trip had been scheduled before the war of words between Trump and Pope Leo.
No, I mean, it's a trip we had planned from before, and obviously we had some stuff that happened. And no, look, there's a lot to talk about with the Vatican. I'll give you one example. The Pope just returned from a trip to Africa, where the church is growing very vibrantly. And we have shared concerns about religious freedom, freedom in different parts of the world. We'd love to talk to them about that.
The Pope Leo, the first American Pope, has drawn criticism from Trump after speaking against the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran. Trump's response has included a series of public attacks on the Pope in recent weeks. The remarks have drawn a significant backlash from Christian leaders across the political spectrum.
He's a man that doesn't think that we should be toying with a country that wants a nuclear weapon so they can blow up the world. I'm not a fan of Pope Leo.
The Pope Leo responded by stating that God does not listen to the prayers of those who wage war. He has steadily countered Trump's misrepresentation of his stance on Iran and nuclear weapons.
Self-defense has traditionally always been allowed by the Church. To talk about just war today is a very complex problem, and we have to analyze it on many levels. But ever since the entrance into the nuclear age, the whole concept of war has to be re-evaluated in terms today. And I always believe that it's much better to enter into dialogue than to look for arms and to support the arms industry, which gains billions and billions of dollars each year.
Rubio has often been tasked with addressing or clarifying Trump's remarks on foreign policy issues. In recent weeks, Trump has also criticized the Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, the Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani, and other NATO allies of what he sees as a lack of support for the American and the Israeli war on Iran. Rubio is scheduled to meet with Giorgia Meloni and Tajani on Friday amidst continued differences.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio spent about 2.5 hours in the Vatican today. He met first with Pope Leo and then with the Cardinal Secretary of State, Pietro Parolin. The State Department says that they did discuss the situation in the Middle East and the need for a durable peace, but the real visit was to underscore the strong bilateral relationship between the United States and the Holy See. This visit came after weeks of sparring between President Donald Trump and Pope Leo, with Trump criticizing Leo's call for peace and dialogue to end the Iran war. By the end of the audience, it appeared that at least the tensions had come down a little bit. Secretary Rubio presented Leo with a crystal football with the seal of the State Department on it, and he joked that he knew that Leo was a baseball guy.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.